One. There we go. Welcome to Beware of Spoilers. I'm Adam,
I'm Peter.
and we again don't usually do live episodes, but due to the
Fuck it.
complex, yeah,
We're doing it live.
exactly. I was gonna say due to the complex nature of coordinating across three time zones, um, and working with scheduling, we're going to do it this way this week. So So this week's episode is about the newest entry in, I think it's called the Wizarding World.
The wizarding.
Wizarding?
Wizarding.
Yes.
Wizarding. Wizard is not a word.
Okay. Excuse me. Um, Wizarding World franchise is what this is called.
It sounded like
Um,
you're saying it with a Boston accent.
okay, great. So this is the expansion of Harry Potter, Fantastic Beasts, and Where to Find Them. Um, we're going to, because this is now, we came out officially last night, preview day was Thursday, and now it is Saturday, November 19th. Yes, one day before your birthday.
Here we fucking go.
Um,
I actually celebrated my birthday yesterday, though. So,
uh,
you thanks for missing it. You should have flown out.
I should have like flown out 2 days in advance just to make sure that you didn't decide to like do your birthday then.
Yeah, exactly. You don't know what's going to happen.
Um, so um, so let's do a quick non-spoiler review um,
Okay.
about this, and then we'll go into the rant I have and all that. 'Cause I don't want anyone to, have to sit through my rant if they're waiting. What did you think of this movie?
See, this
Um,
is the first time I don't have a rant about being in a new movie like in the movie theater.
yeah. So let's see. Uh, I had lowered expectations going into this movie.
Yeah, same with me. I was not. I didn't think it was going to be horrible, but I didn't think it was going to be that good. I think it was going to be. I felt like I was going to be trying way too hard.
Mhm.
I still had problems with it, but I did enjoy it.
I did too, but a lot of the problems track back to inherent problems that come from any David Yates directed Harry Potter movie.
Which ones does he direct? Which one did he direct?
Five, six, seven, eight.
Okay, I
You can
um
you
I
will we'll talk about more about the hallmarks of his direction style when we do the full like spoiler review
yeah.
because but you can tell and J.K. Rowling's fingerprints is more all over this than it is over the other movies, which means I think the writing is a little bit more cohesive
hmm
than the other Harry Potter movies prior.
I think they should have gotten just a completely different director that wasn't ever involved with Harry Potter
Or get Alfonso Cuarón back.
or Chris Columbus.
Is he still alive?
Maybe he's not.
I feel like he died.
I think he's still alive. Because on movie fights, literally every time they're like, someone needs to direct something, someone the answer is Christopher Columbus. No,
Yeah,
he's dead. Oh wait, nope, never mind.
is he dead?
When I googled that, the like Columbus Day, Chris Columbus came up. So I didn't look at the dates. I just said it said died, and it was like died 1506.
Oh crap!
He is still alive. He is 58.
Hmm. Good for him. Well, he did Home Alone. I don't know why I thought he died. Maybe it's one of those weird Mandela effect things.
Yeah, in your universe he died. He's
Yeah.
also he writes books too.
Hmm. Well, that's working out for him. Like he hasn't done anything major recently. Um, but what's it called? Um, the characters never quite gel properly.
Yeah, I think my I no I'll save my biggest problem because it will spoil things. So if I say it, so I'll just wait. Um, yeah, I don't really like Eddie Redmayne that much. There's like something about him that annoys me.
Yeah, I don't know what it like. I think it's just the fact that he. How do I put this diplomatically? He looks like how every Harry Potter fan on Tumblr perceives themselves to be,
His hair,
and he
actually,
acts
everyone's
like it.
hair in this movie, a lot of people's hair in this movie annoyed me. Well, actually, no, Eddie Redmayne's hair and Colin, whatever
Colin
his name.
Farrell,
Yeah, their hair
Percival
annoyed me.
Graves.
No one had hair like that back then. Like no one had a fade in the 20s.
I don't think anyone had bob cuts either.
I think that was the beginning of bob cuts.
1926.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I'm looking at
All right. But yeah, I
bob.
think the soundtrack. If you're going in expecting there to be new music, like in the vein
1920s.
of
Oh, done.
what?
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that's right.
If you're going into this movie expecting like the Star Wars esque Duel of the Fates or something cool to expand the soundtrack, don't.
Nope.
No, you're not gonna get that. It's a cool expansion of the lore, but I have a few problems with the way the movie was marketed. We'll talk about that in the spoiler review because we gotta talk about like other things that happened before we get to that point. Um, then what else was there? I did not there of the four main characters are Eddie Redmayne's Newt Scamander. Um,
That fat guy from the ping pong movie.
okay, his name's Jacob, and the two sisters Tina, and I don't think they ever said the other one's name.
I can look. Hold on. Get it? They're not. They're billed pretty low. Mary Lou. No, she's the other one.
No, the
She's the
flirty
one that's
sister.
like against it.
She'd be like fourth build or fifth build.
No, the Tina's like eighth build on IMDb, but I think these are.
In order
I don't
of
even.
it's in order of significance prior to this movie.
Okay, well, cool. That Sam Redford as customs official is the second build,
Nice.
and Tim Benedict as a witness is third. Then Tom Clark Hill as photographer 2 is fourth. Colin Farrell is like eighth build. I
Um,
forgot. I didn't realize Ezra Miller was in this movie.
yeah, he was
Yeah,
Clarence
he was the.
Creedence Clearwater Revival.
I felt like he was supposed to be like 10 years old too, but
No, he
but
wasn't.
he's like older than that in real
We'll,
life.
we'll get to that later too.
I was confused. Yeah, there was a weird scene.
Um,
Uh,
so let's see.
uh,
How would you rate this one?
Metascore has it as a 65 right now.
Hmm.
I feel like I'm right around there too, like 6.5, maybe 7.
For me, when we did The Force Awakens, I remember when The Force Awakens started and the Star Wars logo came up, and then it said Episode 7, The Force Awakens. Like
Yeah, like
there was that
I teared
moment
up.
where you're just like, I nostalgia takes over, and you're just like, this can't. But it was weird when that happened when the Warner Brothers logo came up in
Mhm.
the same style of the last four movies, and then it went to the logo for this movie. That same effect didn't quite happen, which
I
is
think it's just like I was just like like another one.
well, it's not like it's something that like there's a lot of already. It's not like Transformers 8 or something like that where it's like
Yes, well
okay,
those are. I get that effect every time I watch anything Transformers. I just start bawling. It's just Transformers movies are the greatest. Like are all cinematic masterpieces by themselves.
I actually have a thing about that too. When we get into the next part, but so on that note, I would give this a solid 7.5. For like for my score overall, because and it's good that nostalgia didn't take over because I feel like if nostalgia did take over, it'd be a lot higher like Star Wars was.
That's like yeah, that didn't get any because really don't give a shit about any person in this movie.
Right. Well, that's the other thing. So yeah, so at this point, we'll be going into spoilers after we talk about other things about this movie. So at this point, if you don't want to hear spoilers, tune out,
Get the
and then
fuck
come
out.
back, after you see the movie. For those of you who do want to hear spoilers, here we go. Before we get to
Or
that,
don't
though,
see the movie and listen to us talk about it and then give us $15.
no, you paid $15.
No, I'm just rounding up. I'm
Oh,
sure if you saw it in like IMAX 3D, it would go up to that.
I paid 10 to see it in IMAX today.
Oh well, la di da. Well, I pay like 12 or 13 to see it than just a regular movie.
Well, that actually brings me to my next point. We always rail about theater going experiences like Star
This
Wars.
time I this time I do not actually. I had the last two times, Doctor Strange and this, I've pretty much had a pretty normal experience. Like
Yeah, like
there's
what you
some
would expect.
people dressed up for this, and I was just like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Well, that happened for Captain America too, though.
And I had the same reaction, but I just
That
felt
was
like whatever.
hilarious, though. The couple dressed as Bucky and Steve.
And everyone just like looked at them like, "What the fuck are they doing?"
Yeah, like, why? Like, first of all, that guy's
Keep it in
pretty
the bit.
fucking
Keep it
weird.
in
If he's
the bit.
like, you can dress up as a man and let me fuck you. That's a good idea.
I feel like that's definitely what happened.
Yeah, like, or maybe it's the other way around. Maybe he wanted to take the strap on, but who cares? That's not the point right now.
That's called pegging.
Yeah, I know what that's called. I watched Deadpool.
Yeah, you would know what that's called.
Oh, okay. Um, so I always end up with weird experiences in movie theaters because I don't know what it is, but every time I go to a movie, something screwed up happens. Like that time I saw Ant-Man the second time, and someone punched a 3-year-old kid in the face, which,
Oh wait, can I? I just have a really. It's
yeah, go ahead.
extremely off topic, but I just feel like it's something I need to bring up because it's just how strange what just happened to me.
Okay,
I just received an email from my aunt.
right.
She just forwarded me an like a paid ad for Hulu because she thought it was funny. Like I just that's very strange. So I just thought I would share that. Okay, you can go back now.
Okay. Um, so what my biggest thing with going to the movies is, if you have kids, please be considerate. Now, now
You,
I've never had a movie theater. I've never held a birthday party at a movie theater before.
I have.
Um, that was never really my thing as a kid. And the thing is, my birthday's in March, so historically, March movies never really lined up. Prior to recently, March movie releases never really lined up to be good movies. Um, so it wasn't really worth doing. Um, but if when you do this, you go to the people, you go to the administration desk, and you're like, "Hi, I want to have a birthday party," and they always have a small theater that you rent out. They do a private screening of this movie, and then you basically get to see the movie. It's a little bit more expensive, but they usually include snacks.
Yeah, that's it. I did do this when I was younger, so I can describe the experience.
Right? Yeah, they
So
usually include.
it was me and a friend who had like a dual birthday party, and then my birthday's in November, so that works out with good movies. And we were, I think it was my second grade party, so it was like 30 or 40 kids probably. So, but we had the whole theater to ourselves, and then they gave us snacks and popcorn, and then they set up like a table where we had like cake and food, so that was fun. But then it was all just by ourselves, so it was the best because it was like early afternoon too, so there wasn't really anyone at the movies to begin with, so it was very good.
Yeah. So this family, um, when I got when I got to the movie theater, when we got up front, I noticed there was like a flock of small children.
A gaggle.
Is that the proper term?
I don't know. That's geese.
Yeah, a horde of small children,
A
all kind
murder.
of like running around outside. And my first thought is, oh, okay, they can't be here for this movie. There's no way these 30 children are gonna be here to see a 10 o'clock in the morning showing of Fantastic Beasts of Where to Find Them in IMAX. That's ridiculous. Then we get
And
into the movie theater after like we park, and then we go into the movie theater, and the kids are already inside, and they're all taking pictures with the giant freestanding display for the movie. And I'm like, oh, son of a bitch. Maybe it's just another
were you there
showing going on.
with your family?
It was me and my brother who went.
Uh,
So they're taking a picture of this giant freestanding display, and I'm like, oh, son of a bitch. They are here. Probably not going to see it in IMAX though. When you're with little kids like 7, 8, they don't know the difference. Why waste your money on IMAX? Like you're better off paying for a 3D movie for a younger child than you are paying for an IMAX movie, because an IMAX movie isn't going to make a difference for them.
yeah.
So so we go in, we find seats. Now, this theater is one of those big like stadium seating theaters where there's like a section out in the middle and there's one section on either side of the aisle. Like there are two aisles that go up the sides, and
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
like side, middle, side. Um, we go up and we get seats like literally in the middle of the right side. There's no one on the entire right side except for me and my brother, literally sitting in the middle of it. Okay,
I'm
because
assuming I know what's about to happen.
because we figure, in the entire like the middle of the theater is like not full, but there are a lot of kids from Stony Brook there who were going to see it because it was the theater by Stony Brook, and
Ooh, Stony Brook sucks.
we wrecked them in football today, by the way, 13-6.
That's not
Um,
really wrecking, but I'm happy we won.
it's Stony Brook, so everything's wrecking. So like up the middle's fine, and the entire left side has no one sitting there. So then the lights go down for the previews, and the previews start, and these kids come jetting in like they're shot out of a cannon up the side, and I'm like, son of a bitch, they're in this theater. But that's fine because I'm like, okay, maybe they'll sit far away, and I won't have to hear these kids. No, they run right up, and they sit 2 rows behind me, 1 row behind me, and in my row.
Cool.
Now, for this large litany of children, there is one chaperone. Like, probably just the birthday kid's mother was with them.
Uh-huh.
And she's coordinating the snacks across 3 aisles of children.
Sweet.
Three rows of children. So, meanwhile, these kids do not know how to control themselves, which, at the age of 7, you should know not to make noise in a movie theater. Like, if you have a really small child, and it's like, they're like 3, 4, okay, that's fine. Maybe they don't know better, maybe you didn't do your job as a parent and teach them to shut the hell up when they're in a movie theater, but whatever. These kids are 7. They should know by now, you sit down, you shut up, you watch the movie. So, these kids they're not screaming. Screaming is a poor way to put what happened. They're talking. So it's
So just like in a conversational
it's like
tone.
not it's lower than conversational, but it's like a dull overtone in the movie. It's just over the entire 2.5 hours that I'm sitting there.
That sounds fun.
Then, as the movie's ending, all hell breaks loose. Because once the climax ends, kids don't understand the movie still has the falling action after that point. So, after the whole confrontation in the subway, the kids all start getting up and walking around.
Uh-huh.
And the kids sitting behind me jump and sit next to me. Like, in my row. They jumped, like, they didn't come around like a normal person. They jumped over the seats and jumped into the row. Meanwhile, the parent was probably someone who had, like, her kid when she was in high school, and, like, all her friends also had kids when they were in high school, and now they're all here because, like, they saw it when they were they saw Harry Potter when they were seniors, and now, oh my god, now we can go do this. And fucking A, like, control your kids. Okay? And the thing that really pissed me off about this is how, like, fuck being inconsiderate to me. Think about the theater, okay? The theater on movies like this, depending on the contract, makes like 10% of ticket sales to...
And then the rest is all in snacks.
Right, the rest of the money all comes in snacks. Now, they get a little bit more if you schedule a birthday party, because it's a private screening, so they can charge you a little bit more. I think it's like $30 a head, but it includes snacks, so they make more money on that. So you're already fucking them out of that money. But not only that, but you brought outside food in.
Mm-hmm.
Like, these kids had Snapple bottles. Like, why would you, like, how screwed up is that? Like, you brought in, like, not only did you screw them out of the money of hosting the birthday party, but you screwed them out of the money of buying the food there at the concession stand. Like, I know it's overpriced, but it's the way you support the theaters, you buy them the food when you get there. That's the way it works. Okay? If you're that cheap, you don't pull this shit.
Yeah, or like I usually just don't get anything. I'm
Right,
fine.
and that's fine too. But don't bring in outside stuff and like, I was pissed.
You should have yelled fire.
No.
You should have
So
started a fire.
I'm not gonna start a fire either. So that with the theater
If
going
you,
experience.
I know, like, you know, you're not allowed to yell fire in a movie theater.
Right.
What if you start a fire
No.
and then yell fire? Because then you can't get in trouble because
No,
you're like,
you can because then
but
it's
you
just
can't,
arson. It's
but then
straight up arson at that point.
you can't get in trouble for yelling fire though, because you're saving everyone.
Okay. I guess like yeah, that's fine. So you saw the trailers attached to yours, right?
No, I came in like, I like messed up how long it was going to take me because I walked to my movie theater,
Hmm.
and I decided to wait until like 15 minutes before the movie started to go, and I forgot this was going to be a popular movie, and
Oh,
so I was like one of the last people in the theater.
nice.
So I like got in there like I forget what trailer. Well, I didn't even realize what trailer was going on, but like I just got in there to see the beginning of the movie, and I got to sit on like the third row from the front, so that was fun.
Yeah, I we did see all the trailers this time.
Were there any good ones?
They actually did have one good one. They had an IMAX specific like mini documentary about Michael Bay.
Oh, this is when I said Transformers. Did you
Yeah, yeah,
think that? Yeah, I just randomly said Transformers.
yeah. That was it was interesting because like it gave me a little bit more respect for Michael Bay. Not gonna
He
lie.
knows how to make a lot of money.
Well, not only that, but like that's one thing. Like, but apparently what this documentary showed is how much he like through his movies advanced IMAX and 3D technology. Like through the
Oh,
use of
okay.
Transformers movies to create higher resolution picture and how he pioneered that. So I kind of want to do a case study of just the effects in the Transformers movies now, including the new one next year.
Well, that's literally like the entire movie
Well,
is
yeah,
effects.
yeah, basically. Then what was it like? They showed the Beauty and the Beast trailer.
Oh, how's that?
It was my first time seeing it. I haven't seen a trailer this year. Like last year, what was the movie that every time I saw the trailer, it would give me chills? There was one movie last year.
The Entourage movie.
It wasn't the Entourage movie. I forgot which one it was, but every time I would get chilled when I saw that. Maybe it was Star
Star
Wars.
Wars.
That was it. Um, that sounds a lot weirder when in retrospect. But like they do it with like the trailer, it goes and it shows it obviously shows clips of the movie. But it overlaid is the song Beauty and the Beast, but just like a flat instrumental version,
Uh huh.
and it looks really good. Like it looks to be like one of the best movies like that Disney's done in a while. Like
Is
Moana doesn't look.
Angela Lansbury in it?
Yeah,
Well, not my Beauty and the Beast.
actually she might be. I know that what's his name? Um, Ewan McGregor is playing Lumiere.
I did. I just went on the page. Oh,
Uh, uh,
Emma Thompson is Mrs. Potts. I
oh.
guess that's no okay. Oh, and good. Thank God, Josh Gad is in this movie.
Who does Josh Gad play?
LaFoe.
I don't know who that is. Uh,
I clicked on it. I don't know what's gonna come up. Oh, LaFoe is Gaston's little fat friend.
okay. Gaston looks like like weird, not like a child, but he looks like he doesn't look like a big like strong guy. He just looks like that asshole who like runs the Young Libertarians Club.
Oh, I forgot it was on Hard Nation. They were just like all libertarians are like people that read Ayn Rand, where they when they're too impressionable and like haven't snapped out of it yet.
Yes. No, the trailer's playing. Oh no. Oh dear.
Did
I'm
they
gonna
put
stop
Beast
it.
in the trailer?
Yeah.
What does he look like? Is he
It
beastly?
yeah. It doesn't look too bad. I had a much worse idea of what it could be. They did a very good job of you know keeping it grounded. Um, Also in this movie is Dan Stevens playing the Beast, Luke Evans plays Gaston, Stanley Tucci plays Candeza, and Ian McKellen plays Cogsworth.
Yes, I just saw that too.
It's a pretty good cast. There was also the trailer that bothered me the most, and this does not make me racist.
That's
Was
always a
Hidden
fun thing to
Figures.
start with.
Hidden Figures. They showed the
I
trailer
think
for
I
Hidden Figures. That's the movie about the three black women
Oh, that's yeah. That was on
behind
Science
the Apollo
Friday
mission.
podcast. Yeah, yeah.
It literally looks like they made this movie like to appeal as broadly as possible to people now, and then it's gonna become the movie they bitch about when it doesn't get nominated for an Academy Award.
I
Like
just know the story. I have no idea what the movie is like. I know what it's about. I have no idea like actually what the movie is going on in the movie.
like at one point, I'm not kidding. This is an actual line from the trailer. I don't know if it's gonna be in the actual movie, but if it is in the actual movie, it should not get any nomination for any Academy Award or even a People's fucking Choice Award, because at one point, John Glenn is walking by, and Kerry Washington. I don't know who Kerry Washington. I don't know the names of any of these women because the trailer goes by, and I don't know if that's intentional by the trailer to make you like, oh, you don't know who the women are. But no, it like they don't say their names at any point. Um, so he walks by and Kerry Washington's checking her out, and one girl, and I think it's Taraji P Henson is the one who says this. I don't remember. It was like 5 hours ago I saw this. And she goes like, "Why are you checking me out? He's a white guy." And she goes, "We have equal rights. That means I have equal rights to white men too." And I'm like, and this movie. It sounds like every character is a sassy black woman, but it's not a comedy.
Yeah, 'cause it's about them. They're all like super good scientists that basically
Like
like
do
did
their
all the math.
jobs,
Yeah,
but like they go,
and then they that's why they forced NASA to be like more integrated because of how like smart they were.
but like literally the first thing they introduce you to in this movie is like they're on their way to NASA and their car breaks and three of them are in the car and they get pulled over by a cop comes up and is like you women lost and he goes, do you have any identification, and one of them gives them their card and it's like, we work for
Is it like a
NASA.
NASA ID? Yeah.
Yeah, and they're like, and he's like, oh, let me escort you then. So he starts escorting them, and they're driving behind this police car, and Kerry Washington goes, oh wow, three black women in a car and then chasing a police car in the 1960s. This must be a dream.
Oh my God.
Like that's a quote from the movie. The movie is too self-aware.
Yeah, I think it's very, and also it feels like every Kevin Costner movie now because I just saw he's in it. It's about like race relations.
What else was he in recently?
He was in that movie Black or White where he like
Oh yeah.
steals a black child and claims it for his own.
Embracing his heritage as a white man.
Yeah.
Um, So I think that was it. That really stuck out from the trailers. They showed the Wonder Woman trailer, which brought up another point that I was thinking of. It's
He was
like,
also in McFarland USA, which is about I think that's a track one where he's like, we need more Mexicans. Yeah, it is that one.
um,
That's when he's a track coach and he's just like, they can run fast. Let's go get some.
the Wonder Woman trailer made me realize everything that's wrong with the DC Extended Universe because like it came out
A
and
woman's getting it in their own movie.
they showed
That's
like one of the things everyone's like, look at the color in the scenes in her homeland, and I'm like, yeah, use of color in a movie that's like it's not in like Schindler's List where it's black and white for intent. Like they shouldn't be a selling point. Like we have color now. Look,
especially when it's her island's like an island in the Caribbean.
yeah,
Like if you say use of color during the World War One scenes is a little bit more prominent because she's like more bright and it's all like a gray background.
Mhm.
But like saying the use of color for her island is kind of stupid.
look at how vibrant the colors look. Like no, this movie doesn't have the Zack Snyder lens on it, like of everything being like blue. So no, it's not impressive that the movie has color. Like great fucking job. You didn't screw this one up. Um, and then I think that was it. They showed a few more trailers, but none of them really. Oh, they showed Great Wall again.
I don't understand why that is a movie. It looks so weird.
Like the best is they always show like visionary direct. They always have visionary director, whatever the hell the guy's name is who's directing it, and it's always like I'm like, what's visionary about what he's doing? He's using the jump scares from a Disney 3D movie, like what's it called? Honey, I Shrunk the Audience. Like like, oh no, I'm throwing this at the screen. Like, okay, um, but yeah. So let's move on to the actual movie now that we came to discuss.
Yes.
Um, do you want to talk about it? What bothered you?
What bothered me the most is the whole Grindelwald thing, and now instead of being about now there's it's gonna be 5 movies, isn't that the plan?
5, yep.
Yeah. So now
Each
instead
movie's
of
gonna be
being
Fantastic Beasts and something, something, something.
okay, so now instead of being about like this character, it's all they're just gonna appeal to the fan base, and it's gonna be about like Dumbledore and Grindelwald,
Yep.
which is just like this loose netting of this random fucking character that's connecting them. Where there's more J.K. Rowling just like making shit up as she goes along,
Yep.
because we had 7 books where literally the only time he's mentioned is that he's the fucking author of a textbook that they use.
Hmm.
But now apparently
I don't think
he's
he's
like,
even mentioned by name in any of the books.
yeah, and now apparently he was like Dumbledore's friend and like one of the main like fighters against Grindelwald, but no one fucking cares. Like,
Yeah.
also how America's portrayed is annoys me too. How like
Yeah, it's weird
everyone,
because it's like look at how awful America is and how America's not accepting of
and
anyone.
it's like look how obsessed America is with the death penalty. Like
Like,
they want to kill everyone.
and it's like look at how not accepting America is of other people. The leader of the Wizarding world in 1926 America was a black woman.
Yeah, exactly. Like
In 1990s Britain, all 3 of them were white men until Kingsley took over.
yep. And I'm happy that the black smoke monster from Lost is getting acting work.
Yep, he needed it. He fallen on down
That
times.
whole thing was kind of weird too.
His
Like I was just
sitcom
like,
kind of fell through.
I guess this is happening. Like with something with an O. I forget how it's pronounced.
Obscurus.
That's it. Yeah, Obscurus. I did see a cool fan theory though that
Was it that this movie is related to the
no,
Harry Potter series?
it's just about that Dumbledore's sister was also that, and like that's why
Oh.
Grindelwald is like wants it. I have another. Should we, I guess, reveal the big like spoiler? I guess.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so it turns out that Graves, played by Colin Farrell, like wasn't actually Graves. It was Grindelwald. Oh no.
Which they did a very poor job of doing it. I called it early in the movie that he was, because number one, it's a Harry Potter movie. If someone's name references death, they're probably a bad guy.
Yeah.
Number
That is-
two,
for me, you can go.
he was way too obsessed with catching the Obscurus and using it for his own gain, and
And
he
being
wasn't good
kind
about
of-
hiding that.
Being like kind of pedophile at one part.
Yeah. Number three, the thing he hands to Credence, so that way he can call him later, is the symbol of the Deathly Hallows. And say what you will about J.K. Rowling, but nothing she does is not significant. So I would have been more pissed off if she did that and then it didn't come back into play.
Yeah, for me, just the logistics of it doesn't make sense. Like, because doesn't the Revelio charm not work with Polyjuice Potion?
But we don't know how it was like.
Well, that's
keeping-
like if he just created Graves and like that it was he like working in like this ministry for like years to like work his way up the ranks
Yeah.
as like a regular employee and just like he was like playing the long game. Like there's like that part doesn't like it's like this big reveal doesn't like really make sense for me in the long run.
I think the other
Yeah.
thing, that really bugged me about this movie is it comes back. I said before in the part before we went off on our tangent, that this movie has the hallmarks of David Yates all over it. Number
Oh.
one, the movie opens with a montage of newspapers.
That always that okay. Thank you. I like it. as I was watching, I was like, this is a lot like, and it reminded me of the old ones.
Because that's what he did in like, especially I think he had two or three of those montages in Order to Phoenix. He had one of those montages in Deathly Hallows Part 1, and he had at least one, maybe two, in Half-Blood Prince. I don't think there was any in Deathly Hallows Part 2. He also is more concerned with making action look better than following internal continuity and rules of like how magic works, which it sounds nitpicky to say that, but when you're dealing with fantasy or science fiction, you need to have internal continuity with how magic works. Like if you watch The Flash, which is soft science fiction, or really it's fantasy because of the Speed Force. The Speed Force works in a consistent way.
Mm-hmm.
And you can track back, this is how the Speed Force works here, 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 and nothing really goes against the established how the Speed Force works. The problem with this is, at several points, especially over all of his movies he's directed for Harry Potter, the use of wands is not that important,
Yeah.
as long as it makes the action look cooler. And the
Yeah,
one thing,
that's
like my brother pointed out, when he throws the car at, what's her name?
I forget.
Tina.
Yeah, that's definitely the character.
When he throws the car at her, like he uses his hand, he's using the force. Like, come on. Also,
Yeah,
I
that's
see.
I think besides the books are like the only like the main 7 books
Yeah,
are like the only consistent source of like material with magic, and anything off of that, including the movies or any other like book, like just breaks some rule that's already been established.
yeah. And the thing is too, I feel like it's a lot of it is J.K. Rowling doesn't like to take too much control as a producer.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think she
But then
just
she just likes to blame them afterwards for if people don't like it.
Yeah, exactly. Also, this is unrelated, but I mentioned before about the trailer for what's it called, The Great Wall.
Uh-huh.
The Chinese girl, the one who has the GoPro under her tits in that one like skydiving scene. She is also the Asian girl in Kong Skull Island.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep, and she's also in Pacific Rim. But she's not the same Asian girl who was in, what's it called, Independence Day.
Oh, okay.
Every major blockbuster now has a token Asian person. Like,
it's more inclusive.
Yep.
That's all you hate.
Well, they gotta appeal to China now. China's a massive market, and China doesn't watch movies unless there's one of them in it. That sounded a lot worse than I intended it.
Wait, does Harry Potter count as like sorcery, so Chinese people are afraid to see it?
Actually, that might be why there was very little magic in this movie.
It's all about like throwing shit.
Yeah, I didn't even think about it until you said that. There's very little use of magic in this movie. Like, a lot of it's use of the creatures. Now, they did bastardize the source material a little bit. How they managed to do that when a fucking textbook was the source material is beyond me, but they managed to do that. The Obscurus is actually not something that can ever be killed, if I remember correctly. Let's talk about something else while I bring up the excerpt about the Obscurus from Fantastic Beasts. I have that book on my Kindle. Let me bring up that. Do you have anything you want to address while I bring this up?
Oh fuck, there was. Oh, I feel like, I always felt that even though like J.K. Rowling decided to reveal Dumbledore was gay to try to make people like buy more of her shit.
Yeah.
That's really what I think happened. I always viewed him as like an asexual person that would just kind of like, he was above like that kind, like
a wizard.
Not being gay, like above that, like just above anything like pleasurable almost. But I feel like the next movie that Dumbledore is in, like it's gonna be like
a romance.
He's gonna be super gay with like Grindelwald, and it's gonna be really weird.
Yeah, I think.
And I do not mean that being gay is weird. I know there's a lot of ways to take what I just said,
No, but like
but I think it's to be exploitation.
yes. And the thing is, people don't ever want to acknowledge that it is exploitative of the gay community
Yeah.
to do this. It's like all people on the internet and how the producers of Sherlock will tease at a gay relationship between Sherlock and Watson,
Hmm.
but it never gets confirmed in the series. It's just you want them to keep watching because it looks like it, but it's not officially it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, they're gonna do this here, but they're not gonna outright say they're gay because they lose money on that. Like, if they had Dumbledore out and in a open gay relationship in this next movie, it would not it wouldn't sell because you want to give people who already hate Harry Potter because of religion another reason to hate Harry Potter on top of witchcraft.
It's very true.
Um, what was the other thing I wanted to? The entire concept of this movie has a pretty big flaw.
Oh wait,
Because
I have another thing that annoyed me.
go ahead.
That like Newt Scamander like loved that like creatures so much kind of annoyed me.
Which creature?
Like just all of them, and he's just like, they're not dangerous. Like, why don't you love my animals? That just annoyed me. Like when he was like on trial or something like that.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then he's just like, they're not dangerous. I don't know. It just seemed very preachy. Like they try to compare. I saw online people were trying to compare him to Hagrid, but like Hagrid was kind of like that, but I liked Hagrid way better.
Well, Hagrid was like that, but Hagrid didn't scream at you
Very.
like for like 2 minutes. It's like scream the same sentence over and over again. Um, there was something else I wanted to bring up. We had another connection to what's it called? The to not Darth Vader, Voldemort. Uh, did you catch that one?
I don't think so because I do not know.
Zoe Kravitz.
Oh wait, okay. Is this what her character's name is?
Yep,
Okay, yeah, yeah. I do know.
she's
That one, yeah.
playing a relation to Bellatrix Lestrange, or
Yes.
a grandmother or something.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I don't know what gene pool that is and how they got from Zoe Kravitz to Helena Bonham Carter.
In America, to like this British woman that
Well, no,
is
no, no. Zoe Kravitz. First
not
of all,
even that.
I'm afraid to hear Zoe Kravitz do a British accent. Like that's gonna be bad. 'Cause I don't know where anyone got the impression that Zoe Kravitz could act. But that they are sorely mistaken. Um, okay, it's finally loaded. I said download the book again. Um, the and it really is just an Easter egg. Like they literally like, oh, Zoe Kravitz is in this movie. Zoe Kravitz is in this movie.
She's Lenny
Um,
Kravitz's daughter.
she's in one scene and as a picture. Okay, let me. Okay, I found the book. I'm scrolling through to find the page on the Obscurus. Holy crap! I forgot how long this book is. Do you have anything else you want to talk about while I find this?
Um, no, this is just me being annoying at people on the internet. Annoyed at people on the internet because people like someone was like, finally, like we get more Grindelwald backstory, which I'm fine with because it is interesting. But
Yeah.
then I heard someone, it was like a review, and they were like, if you think Voldemort is bad, like prepare like yourself because Grindelwald is like the worst wizard of all time or something like that. And I was like, I think Voldemort is worse than Grindelwald
Well,
because
Grindelwald was Wizard Hitler.
but he was around longer. But I feel like what Voldemort did was worse, but because he was actually able to take over like an entire like country, and do stuff.
Yeah, that's true. And the what I did to my brother after we left was, if you think the Hitler overtones in the original Harry Potter series was something, wait until they have actual Wizard Hitler, like who like he was imprisoned in Normgard, I think it was called, a prison he created to put people on trial, which is supposed to be related to what's it called? Um,
Nuremberg.
yeah, Nuremberg. Okay, it definitely was in this book. It's not here now. It definitely was. Oh my god, it was.
This is maybe it's the Mandela effect.
No, it definitely was. I remember reading.
Uh-oh.
Or okay, I'll eventually find it. Um, but they did not. It was a sheet in the book originally. Like it was a sheet that just like suffocated people in their sleep. So it's like
Cool.
when they showed it in his menagerie in the suitcase, and they showed it in there. I'm like, oh, that's the I forgot I forgot what it was called off the top of my head, but I was like, that's that thing that you can get rid of with what's it called? Patronus.
Uh-huh.
But that's what the book said. Is it? Oh, leather. I'm thinking the Leatherfold. I think I was just completely wrong. Mercifully rare creature found solely in tropical climates. It resembles a black cloak, perhaps half an inch thick. Thicker if it recently digested a victim. It glides on the ground at night. The earliest account we have of a Leatherfold was in 1782. This is needlessly long-winded. Like I don't know when this information is ever going to be useful again. But I was wrong. Never mind. I wasted our time for nothing.
Nice going.
Um, but yeah, the what was it? I still think it was a dumb like thing to do. The way they handled this, because it's like you I I don't understand why they needed to do it. And the other thing is they didn't do a good job of handling the twists in this movie.
Yeah, I agree.
Because like Credence was obviously the that
The
thing,
magic. Oh, the Obscurian. Yeah.
the Obscurus. It was definitely him. It like there. It wasn't like it was like, oh, look what we pulled on you. Like you didn't expect this, did you? Like no, it's not like rocket science. Like it had to be him. Um. Then what was the other thing that was stupid that really like stuck out? Um. The younger sister who served no purpose being there besides helping them escape from prison.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Um, the fact that this
There
movie
you
was very obviously a one-off when they wrote it and filmed it, and now it's a five-part series. Um,
That part, yeah, God, it would always be.
Johnny Depp. This is, by the way, the second time in like 3 years that I've seen Johnny Depp show up in a movie I was not expecting him to in a blonde wig.
I definitely didn't expect him, especially in this movie. I really did that. What like I was not expecting that.
No, well, no, I wasn't expecting it at all in Tusk either. Like, I thought that Tusk was a little bit like not. There's anything wrong with Tusk. I actually like
Tusk was
Tusk.
better. I like Tusk better because I said to you, I think that's Johnny Depp, and then you said no, it's not. That's why I liked it. And then I looked it up and I was right.
um, yeah. So, but this there was something else that bothered me about the ending. Like, the this guy who. Oh, by the way, this isn't the first time that Colin Farrell and what's his name, Johnny Depp have played the same character in one movie.
Hold on. Okay, what was the other time?
The Imaginarium of something. I forgot which one. It was the Imaginarium of. Um,
Doctor Parnassus.
that might be it. Let me look it up.
I'm on it right now. A traveling theater company gives its audience much more than they were expecting. It's directed by Terry Gilliam, so it's weird. Wow, this is a very big. Christopher Plummer, Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, that's it. Tony's
Um,
first transformation is Johnny Depp, and then
Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger was also in this movie. Yep.
Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp, and then when Ledger died in the midst of production, the role was recast in certain scenes to show portrayals of physically transformed versions of the character within the eponymous Imaginarium, Johnny Depp, Colin Farrell, and Jude Law all played um, those roles. Um, then there was what's it called? I don't know. I feel like this movie was. It wasn't like great. That was the other thing I wanted to bring up. I kept forgetting. They took a page out of Lord of the Rings books and took the Eagles Ex Machina. Like,
Oh, I could I comment on that real quick?
yep.
All right, so I've been reading the Silmarillion recently, which is basically it's like a history of Middle Earth, and it's the first age, and it's like how it was created, and the beginning of the elves and dwarves, and like the original bad guy Morgoth,
Mhm.
who was Sauron's boss, and it goes through everything, and it's very dry and written like a history book, and it's just summaries of stories. But in two or three stories, it ends with the eagle saving someone.
Nice.
But it like makes it like kind of makes sense because the Eagles are like the servants of Manwë, who is just like king god basically of
Hmm.
everything, and he really doesn't do shit because he's just like we need to let everything play out how it should play out, kind of. And then every once in a while he's just like, okay, send in the Eagles. But at the same time, it gets a lot when it's like four or five different stories, including Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, ends with the Eagles saving everyone.
Yeah. Um, I think any scene with Credence and his family could have been cut, and I would have been fine with that.
Hmm.
Like, that was really, really like offsetting to the tone of the rest of the movie. And like, you literally could have cut all that out, cut the movie's rundown time down to an hour 40, and still got all the backstory necessary through the weird pensive thing
Yeah.
that would have killed them. Which, by the way, I'm more pissed off about that they didn't have them do the Dementor's kiss. That's what I thought was going to happen. I thought they were going to use the pensive to show them their good memories, and then Dementors are going to come down and kill them. Nope. No, but that makes sense, right? Like,
It does make sense, but I guess because they're not British, so they don't do that.
no, they could set people on fire because like that was like acid burning through a metal chair. Which brings me to my next question: what would they have done when Newt went to do it? Why would they let Newt watch? Because now Newt's watching. He knows that they can. He knows how this works. So like, do you want to go in there? Like, oh yeah, I'll go in there, and then you burn to death. Then the next guy's like, I'm not gonna go in there. Fuck that. Like, that's a really dumb way to kill people. Like, and it's like, oh, it doesn't hurt. And I'm like, yeah, bullshit. That doesn't hurt. Like,
Doesn't hurt.
it's like telling a kid they're getting a shot. Like, okay, yeah, it's an annoyance, but like, this seems like more than a shot. Um,
Because you die.
yeah, yeah, because you die. Um, and there was one other thing. I think there was. I think that was basically it. That I wanted to address with this movie because I think we've covered all the major ground. Um, 'Cause I still think in retrospectively I'm okay with them announcing Johnny Depp's casting in advance now.
Hmm.
Because like I had a problem with that when they initially did it because it's like, oh, you're trying to bait us on the next movie and the current movie isn't even out yet. That's how you know the movie's gonna be bad. But I was
I think,
pleasantly
yeah,
surprised.
it might have been more confusing if they didn't do that. And it was like people would have been like, wait, what's going on? Like more, I guess, if they didn't know who Johnny Depp was playing.
Yeah. But I'm always impressed how they get Johnny Depp on set without anyone finding out and for it to be a complete surprise to everyone.
Hmm.
Because like I had no idea he was gonna be in this movie.
No, not did I. I
Um,
also, yeah, it was a good surprise.
so now the next movie we know takes place in Paris. Um, Now do you keep the original cast or do you like get rid of the original cast or how would
I
you
think
go
they're gonna
from here?
keep Newt Scamander, get rid of everyone else, and then just have him like James Bond. Like everywhere he goes, he just like fucks a bunch of people and then moves on with his life.
I don't think he. Well, okay. A week later, he was playing. Um. Oh, and David Yates is directing all 5 of these.
Thank God.
Which, yeah, exactly.
They're gonna recast Johnny Depp.
What?
And they're gonna recast Johnny Depp because of the 20 people that are like calling for him to be recast.
First of all, can we address for a second that whole problem? How high of a standard we hold actors to, but we don't hold that same standard to football players and athletes.
Because there's no evidence that Johnny Depp actually hit his wife.
Other than her saying it.
Yes, but Johnny Depp has a lot of character witnesses for him.
Like, there's no way that actually
happened. There's no character witnesses for his ex-wife. And I trust Kevin Smith's opinion also.
Yeah. I don't think Kevin Smith would be okay with someone that violent being near his daughter.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it. Because she posted pictures of her like bruises, and she just kind of had like a red mark here, but it wasn't an actual bruise.
The best was how his daughter's like, no, that never happened. And that was never reported. Like, his daughter came out and said, no, she's lying, and that was never reported. Like, as widely as he beat his wife. By the way, the only confirmed cast so far for the next one, which comes out in 2018, is David Yates directing, J.K. Rowling writing the screenplay, Eddie Redmayne reprising his role as Newt Scamander, Johnny Depp reprising his role as Grindelwald, and Zoe Kravitz reprising her role as something Lestrange.
I don't feel like Johnny Depp is very good at casting for Grindelwald. I didn't think I can't imagine Grindelwald being this like weird manic, like crazy bad guy. Like I don't think he'll be that sinister.
Yeah. This is the beginning of the New World Order for the months of December and November. You know how they're going to do this now for Warner Bros., right?
No, how?
They're going to do alternating every other year, one Justice League movie and one Harry Potter universe movie. So like next year, this weekend is Justice League, which seems a lot like the Avengers. But we'll talk about that on 30-minute reviews based on what the plot seems to be so far. Then the year after that is Fantastic Beasts 2, then Justice League 2, Fantastic Beasts 3, and so on until the end of time. In December's, this year we have Rogue One, then the year after, Episode 8, then the year after that, Han Solo, then the year after that we have Episode 9, and so on until the heat death of the universe. Or until he will stop paying to see Star Wars. I don't foresee that happening anytime soon.
No, that'll never happen.
Which brings us to like the last few minutes of the show. So let's talk about what we're going to do in the next few. Well, at this point, we're done with this year basically. We have one more episode based on the DVD. First time we're doing that. We have Yoga Hoosers between now and the end of the year. Down DVD Tuesday, so we might be doing that like next week or the week after. We have our final movie in theaters of the year. We have Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. We're also going to talk about any other movies we've seen this year.
Rogue Uno.
Yep, and then our next one after that is going to be John Wick 2 in February.
Jose Wick Dos.
Unless we pick another movie that's coming out. Like, I don't know. But that's our next one. And then we have March is packed at least. So you won't get enough of us in March. So we have, like, Logan. We have Kong Skull Island. It's gonna be a good month of March. And I think we have addressed this before. 2 movies, trailers for movies that are coming out in March had covers of songs featuring, Johnny Cash.
What was the other one that wasn't Logan?
Power Rangers.
Oh, I did not watch the Power Rangers trailer.
It had a weird cover of Walk the Line. Which
Is it
is,
trying to take itself seriously?
yeah, that's what it seems like, and that's a really bad idea when you have.
That is not going to go well.
Do you know who's playing Zordon, the giant floating head?
Bryan Cranston.
Yes. Like, the fact that I said there's a giant floating head in this movie, like, should tell you you're taking it too seriously.
I also that new Bryan Cranston movie with James Franco looks really shitty.
Yeah.
Like I don't understand why that was a movie.
Hmm.
That's definitely a money movie where they're just like, we need a couple million. Like, let's just do this and get it over with.
Yeah, it's like Sisters or Daddy's Home, which opened it's opening against Star Wars. You know you're
Like,
gonna make
they're
a
just
lot
like,
of money.
Whatever.
Like, might as well
People will go see this when Star Wars is sold out.
yeah. Like, yeah, well, Bryan Cranston's funny-ish. And yeah, we have there's gonna be a fun few months for that. But we might be back with more movie releases, and I think at some point between now and the end of the year, Josie and myself will be doing a review of Battlefield 1. I love Battlefield 1, by the way. Like, it's an amazing game. I'm genuinely surprised at how good it is.
Is it because you're playing it on an Xbox?
No. And in fact, we'll talk about this more when we do our regular episode of 30-minute reviews. I would recommend this holiday season, if you own no console, I'd recommend getting an Xbox.
Whoa. Bomb dropped.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that more this week. As someone who's vehemently anti-Xbox, if you know that, you should know this is a big deal.
I feel like that's one of their greatest endorsements.
Yeah, like, I hate Xboxes. I hate the controller. I hate the fact that you can watch a TV through it and it takes away from and then the whole way the menu works takes away processing from running games. However, I would definitely recommend an Xbox over a PlayStation 4 Pro. The One S over the 4 Pro. So yeah. Also, we're going to be talking about Pokemon Sun and Moon when I eventually finish playing that, because I got that today, and we'll be finishing that in there. Like, within the next 2 days, I'll finish playing through that game completely. I can guarantee it. Tuesday night, we will be recording the next episode of 30-minute reviews, putting it live Thursday night. So if anything major happens that we don't cover, don't get pissy. We pre-recorded that one. So we'll be back with Kill Bill Volumes 1 and 2 this Thanksgiving, as well as our Black Friday previews.
Oh, yeah.